3, 2, 1, go!
We might be moseying on to Christmas, but there are still so many spine-tingling games to be released. The freaky, the funny, and the
Charles! I don't want to die!
And while we wait for our choo-choo nightmares to begin, there's been one game that just gripped my eyeballs because this game was fused with so many of my nightmares.
So check out our review of Scorn.
When I first saw Scorn, I says to myself, Satori, this is going to be the survival horror game I finally need diapers for. Yay! Now the game opens with you tied down by worm-like veins in the start menu. The game continues with you, the nameless protagonist, with some messed up teeth, waking up and having to explore the world and figure out things all on your own. Seriously, this game gives you the basis of instructions, and I love that. Because if you were to really wake up in an alien world, there wouldn't be a sign hovering above a door saying, exit. At every gruesome twist and turn and every corner, you're figuring your way out with this crazy body technology, machines that rely on organic matter instead of wires and electronics. The strength of Scorn is really the story. The more you play, the more shocking and revolting the truth and history of this world gets. There were so many gruesome moments in this game, so many plot twists and WTF moments as the story developed that I wish I could spoil it. So let's just move on to gameplay, shall we? This is not a guns blazing type of game, and maybe trying to fit it into a category won't do it justice. Scorn itself is advertised as an atmospheric first-person horror adventure game. The horror bit is obvious. The adventure part sees you mostly interacting with puzzles, operating machinery, and weird contraptions as you progress through. Whatever this is. Now, there are no instructions, but things are pretty figure-outable. Combat, when it finally comes around, is aggressive, visceral, and satisfying. The games are fleshy variations of pistols and shotguns, familiar enough, and ammunition is pretty stingy. It seems like the developers didn't want direct combat to be the pure focus, and instead you need to come up with your own strategies to survive and progress. And while the game has no soundtrack, you might wish it did to distract you from the unnerving quiet or the distant squelching of some unnameable horror around the corner, or wiggling on the walls. Ugh. Now, if your only focus is just to get through the game, then it isn't that long. If you're a fan, though, of dystopian surrealism, Cronenberg body horror, and the art of H.R. Geiger, those few hours will drown you in the bizarre and unsettling reality of a brutally dead civilization. If you're a fan of games like Dead Space 3 and Resident Evil, these are more like action horror games, and therefore Scorn might not be your cup of tea. But if you lean more to the survival horror or atmospheric horror like Amnesia, Soma, Silent Hill 2, then you will really enjoy this game like I did. And if you own an Xbox and you're subscribed to Game Pass, you can play Scorn for free and see how you feel about it.
Be sure to let us know on our social platforms on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Well, we'll be keeping an eye out for your comments and the other eye out for more great games to bring you.